If you've ever watched your prized tomatoes develop those telltale dark spots, or seen your cucumber leaves turn yellow and wither despite your best efforts, you know the heartbreak that comes with fungal diseases in the garden. As fellow gardeners, we've all been there, investing time, energy, and hope into our plants, only to watch them succumb to invisible fungal invaders that seem to appear overnight. Today I'm sharing a game-changing natural solution that's been quietly revolutionizing gardens across the globe. This isn't another complicated chemical treatment or expensive commercial product. Instead, it's a simple, powerful blend of two common household ingredients that can transform your garden's health: cinnamon and wood ash. This natural supplement doesn't just treat fungal problems, it prevents them, creating an environment where your vegetables can thrive while harmful fungi struggle to survive. Before we dive into the solution, let's understand what we're fighting. Fungal diseases are among the most persistent and destructive problems facing home gardeners. These microscopic organisms thrive in the warm, humid conditions that our beloved vegetables also enjoy, creating a constant battle for garden supremacy. Cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, zucchini, eggplants, and beans are particularly susceptible to fungal attacks. These plants often develop powdery mildew, which appears as white powdery spots on leaves, or downy mildew, which causes yellow patches that eventually turn brown. Root rot is another common fungal problem that attacks below ground, causing plants to wilt and die despite adequate watering. Blight, whether early or late, can devastate entire crops of tomatoes and peppers, starting with small dark spots that rapidly spread across leaves and fruit. The challenge with fungal diseases is that they're often well established before visible symptoms appear. Spores can travel through air, water, and soil, spreading from plant to plant with remarkable efficiency. Traditional chemical fungicides can be expensive, potentially harmful to beneficial insects, and may leave residues on the food we grow for our families. This is where our natural solution becomes invaluable. Cinnamon isn't just a delicious spice for your morning coffee, it's a powerful natural fungicide that's been used for centuries in various cultures for preservation and protection. The secret lies in cinnamaldehyde, the compound responsible for cinnamon's distinctive aroma and flavor. This organic compound has been scientifically proven to inhibit the growth of numerous fungal species, including many that commonly plague vegetable gardens. When applied to soil and plant surfaces, cinnamon creates an environment that's hostile to fungal spores. It works by disrupting the cell walls of fungi, preventing them from establishing colonies and reproducing. Unlike synthetic fungicides that can harm beneficial microorganisms in your soil, cinnamon specifically targets harmful fungi while leaving helpful bacteria and mycorrhizal fungi largely undisturbed. Research has shown that cinnamon is particularly effective against fusarium species, which cause wilt diseases in tomatoes and peppers, and Alternaria species, responsible for early blight. It also shows strong activity against Botrytis cinerea, the gray mold that can devastate cucumber and tomato crops in humid conditions. The beauty of cinnamon as a garden treatment is that it continues working over time, slowly releasing its active compounds as it breaks down in the soil. While cinnamon provides the direct antifungal action, wood ash serves as the perfect complement by addressing the environmental conditions that fungi love. Most harmful plant fungi thrive in acidic to neutral soil conditions, typically preferring pH levels between 5.5 and 7.0. Wood ash, being naturally alkaline with a pH of 10 to 12, raises the soil pH when applied, creating an environment that's increasingly uncomfortable for these fungal invaders. Wood ash contains valuable minerals including potassium, calcium, and trace amounts of phosphorus. Potassium is particularly important for plant health, as it strengthens cell walls and improves plants' natural resistance to diseases. Stronger plants are simply better equipped to fend off fungal attacks before they can establish a foothold. The alkaline nature of wood ash also affects the availability of nutrients in the soil. In slightly alkaline conditions, many nutrients become more readily available to plants, supporting robust growth that naturally resists disease. However, it's important to note that wood ash should be used judiciously, as too much can make soil overly alkaline, which can lock up other essential nutrients. The preparation of this natural supplement couldn't be simpler, yet the results are remarkable. Start with equal parts of ground cinnamon and fine wood ash. For most home gardens, begin with 1 cup of each ingredient. The cinnamon should be finely ground. The type you'd use for baking works perfectly. The wood ash should be sifted to remove any large chunks or charcoal pieces, leaving you with a fine powder. Mix these ingredients thoroughly in a clean, dry container. The resulting blend should have a warm, spicy aroma from the cinnamon and a grayish color from the ash. This mixture can be stored in a sealed container for several months, making it convenient to prepare larger batches during the burning season when wood ash is readily available. Application timing is honestly crucial for maximum effectiveness. The best time to apply your natural supplement is early morning, when dew is present on plants and soil, or in the evening after watering. This moisture really helps the blend adhere to surfaces and begin its protective work. You should avoid application during the heat of the day, since the cinnamon can become concentrated and potentially burn sensitive plant tissues. Sprinkle the blend generously around the base of your plants, creating a protective barrier approximately 4 to 6 inches from the stem. For established plants, you can also lightly dust the lower leaves, but try to avoid heavy application on edible parts that will be harvested soon. The main goal is to create a protective zone where fungal spores just can't establish viable colonies. Tomatoes, well, they require special attention due to their susceptibility to multiple fungal diseases. Apply the cinnamon and wood ash blend in a circle around each plant, extending from the base all the way out to the drip line where rain falls from the outermost leaves. For indeterminate varieties that just keep growing throughout the season, it's best to reapply the mixture every 3 to 4 weeks, or after heavy rains that might wash away the protective barrier. Cucumber plants with their sprawling vines and large leaves really benefit from application along the entire length of their growing area. Since cucumbers are particularly prone to powdery mildew in humid conditions, it's important to create a continuous barrier of the blend along the soil surface where the vines will spread. This helps prevent spores from splashing up from the soil during watering or rain. Pepper plants, being more compact, need the blend applied in a neat circle around each plant. Pay special attention to the area immediately around the stem, as this is where many fungal diseases first establish themselves. For pepper varieties that produce throughout the season, monthly applications during peak growing periods provide optimal protection. Eggplants and zucchini benefit from similar treatment to peppers, with particular attention paid to the areas where fruits touch the soil. Place a light dusting of the blend under developing fruits to prevent rot and those fungal infections that often start where produce contacts moist earth. The effectiveness of your natural fungal protection system depends on regular monitoring and timely maintenance. Check your plants weekly for any signs of fungal development, paying particular attention to the undersides of leaves where many fungi first appear. Early detection allows for immediate spot treatment with additional blend application. Weather conditions significantly impact the longevity of your protective barrier. Heavy rains will wash away the surface application, requiring reapplication within a few days of significant precipitation. During periods of high humidity or frequent light rains, increase your application frequency to maintain consistent protection. Spring application should begin as soon as soil temperatures consistently reach 60 degrees Fahrenheit, typically when you're transplanting seedlings or direct seeding warm season crops. This early protection prevents fungal spores from establishing themselves as plants are most vulnerable during their initial growth phases. So, summer maintenance, really requires the most frequent attention, since those warm and humid conditions create just the perfect environment for fungal development. During those peak summer months, you'll want to plan for applications every 2 to 3 weeks and make sure to adjust the frequency based on rainfall and humidity levels in your area. Fall applications, on the other hand, help protect your late-season crops and get your soil ready for the following year. As organic matter breaks down over winter, the minerals from wood ash become incorporated into your soil structure, and, well, any remaining cinnamon keeps on providing that mild antifungal protection. While the cinnamon and wood ash blend gives you some excellent fungal protection, combining it with other organic gardening practices really amplifies its effectiveness. Proper plant spacing ensures there's enough air circulation, which reduces those humid microclimates where fungi just love to thrive. And using drip irrigation or soaker hoses delivers water directly to the roots instead of wetting the foliage, pretty much eliminating the surface moisture that encourages fungal growth. So, crop rotation actually prevents the buildup of soil-borne fungal populations that target specific plant families. You know, it's important to avoid planting tomatoes, peppers, or eggplants in the same location year after year, since this really allows specialized fungi to accumulate in the soil. Instead, try rotating these nightshade family crops with legumes, brassicas, or root vegetables to help break those disease cycles. Mulching around treated plants helps maintain consistent soil moisture and temperature, and it also prevents spores from splashing up from the soil surface during watering. Organic mulches like straw, shredded leaves, or grass clippings work well. Just, avoid using fresh wood chips right around the treated area, since they can tie up nitrogen as they decompose. Sometimes gardeners notice that their blend seems to disappear pretty quickly after application, which usually means there was either too much watering right after treatment, or it was applied during windy conditions. It's best to wait at least 24 hours after applying the blend before watering so it has time to settle and start its protective work. If you notice white residue on plant leaves after application, you may be applying too heavily or during very humid conditions when the mixture doesn't disperse properly. So just reduce the application rate and make sure you're treating during appropriate weather conditions for best results. Occasionally, gardeners report that the blend seems to burn sensitive plant tissues. This typically occurs when applying during hot, sunny conditions, or when using ash that hasn't been properly aged. Always use wood ash that's been stored for at least a month after burning and avoid application during peak sun hours. Your garden deserves the best natural protection available, and this simple yet powerful blend of cinnamon and wood ash provides exactly that. By understanding the science behind these natural ingredients and applying them correctly, you're not just treating existing problems, you're creating an environment where your vegetables can thrive while harmful fungi struggle to survive. Remember that successful gardening is a journey of continuous learning and adaptation. What works beautifully in one garden may need slight modifications in another based on local conditions, soil types, and climate patterns. Start with the basic application guidelines I've shared, then adjust based on your observations and results. If you found this guide helpful, I'd love to hear about your experiences using this natural fungal protection method in your own garden. Subscribe to our Smart Garden YouTube channel for more practical, science-based gardening solutions that work in the real world. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are looking for natural alternatives to chemical treatments. Together, we can create healthier, more productive gardens while protecting the environment we all cherish. Your garden's transformation starts with the simple step of trying something new, and I'm confident this natural approach will become an essential part of your gardening toolkit.